This is an extract taken from my new book entitled Greatest Drum Beats and Drum Grooves of All Time, which you can now download from my website. You can find a link for that at the bottom of the video. This video lesson will be looking at a really cool drum groove from the song American Idiot by Green Day, drummed by Tre Cool. And it's predominantly played on the tom-toms, on the floor tom mostly. It just sounds really, really cool at the speed Tre plays it, and helped, of course, by some really great recording in the studio. The drums on that album just sound really fat, really big, which always helps to make a drum beat sound a lot better when it's well recorded. So the first half of bar 1 and bar 2 are exactly the same as each other. The right hand is playing up until beat 4 of the second bar, 8th notes on the floor tom, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for bar 1, and 1 and 2 and 3 and, which you're going to in a second for the second bar. But basically just think of it as you're playing 8th notes with your right hand on the floor tom. Bass drum comes down on 1 and with the floor tom, 1 and. Then the left hand moves to the high tom, or it's going to be on the high tom, and plays 2 and at the same time as the floor tom, 2 and then we just got another 2 bass drums on 3 and with the floor tom, 3 and. So really simply, it's without the right hand, to distract you from what we're actually playing with our bass drum on the left hand, we're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and so far. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now for bar 1, we play the snare drum and the floor tom together on beat 4. 4. So left hand moves from the high tom, playing 2 and then on beat 4 it plays the snare drum with the floor tom. So far for bar 1 we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then the left hand moves to the floor tom and plays in between the right hands on the of beat 4. So the very last 16th note of the bar, we're playing with the left hand on the floor tom. But basically what's happening is on the and of 4 when we're playing the floor tom, we're just going to put the left hand in between the right hands, in between and a 4 and beat 1. So we're playing right, left, right, and a 1, and a 1. So without the rest of the bar, just that little bit at the end, we play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. It's just basically right, left, right. I'm making it sound way more complicated than it is. And a 1, and a 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. It's a little roll into beat 1 of bar 2. Right, left, right. That's all it is. So let's play bar 1 up to the end of the bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Because bar 1, beat 1 of bar 2, we have the bass drum and the floor tom together on beat 1. In fact, like I said earlier on, bar 1 and bar 2 are exactly the same up until beat 4 of bar 2. So the first 3 quarters of bar 2 is exactly the same as the first 3 quarters of bar 1. We've got the same thing happening again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So let's play all the way now up to the end of bar 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and. A little and a 1 bit in there as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and. Just in case you didn't spot it before, my big exaggerated head movement there should have indicated. And a 1 and a 1. Then on beat 4 of bar 2, we got the snare drum and open hi-hat played together. And it opens for the whole of beat 4 until beat 1 where it gets repeated again. So the hi-hat closes on beat 1 of the next 2 bars. Because 2-bar pattern, it loops around at the end of bar 2, the snare drum and hi-hat are struck together on beat 4. I play it open hand like that rather than have to cross over. Doesn't make a difference. 4 the hi-hat stays open for the whole of beat 4, so nothing's played on the and of 4, and then closes on beat 1. So it's like this little pause at the end where the hi-hat just rings out. So let's play the whole of the 2-bar pattern slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and, so that closed it then on 1. So my hi-hat foot comes down closed with the bass drum on beat 1 the next time the 2-bar pattern is looped. So opens on beat 4, closes on beat 1 with the bass drum and floor tom together. So if you want to be technical, you've actually got right hand, bass drum and hi-hat foot all coming down together on beat 1. But just think of it as closing the hi-hat on beat 1. Let's try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, without my annoying voice counting over the top of it. Bit faster now. And now up to speed. I think it's about right. Without the snare drum at the end there. Let's try that again. So as you can see, it's pretty darn fast. So take your time with it as you slowly increase the tempo. And getting those bass drums in there at that speed requires a little bit of bass drum technique. That's the speed of the bass drum foot. You can use various different techniques to get that, which we discussed in previous videos. But if you practice it slowly, the speed will come eventually. So there you go. That's basically all you can say about it. Really, it's quite a simple beat. It's just played really fast. That's the challenge. It's just a fast beat. Yeah, a really nice sound, really tribal, and that open hi-hat at the end just adds a little bit of something special at the end. So enjoy playing along to that, and I'll see you next time.